players, the people, the students.
I honestly have no idea who this guy is. I thought he was some Make-A-Wish kid. He comes like every game, and he's like, what, 60?
What's so funny?
What's up?
Let me see it.
No, man. He always tries talking to us, but we always ignore him every time.
You do anything fun later? Do anything cool?
Just a party.
Really? Like, what's the Addy? Maybe I'll cruise on by, check it out.
It's like a invite-only type thing. You know, a lot of guys.
A lot of guys, like dudes?
Yeah, a lot of dudes.
Is there anything that could stop you from coming to the game?
No.
COVID?
No.
Russia?
I would say he doesn't have to come to the high school games anymore. He can stay at home, put on the Mitt TV, and watch the games live right at his couch. You're 40 years old. You can't keep coming to these high school football games.
I'm 39.
It's over, Scott.
Barnabo Stadium's my home.
Your home is a one-bedroom, one-bath, and a cat named Coco.
No!
It's over, Scott. Use this. The Mitt TV's on there. It's live.
Informational Meeting. So we'll go ahead and do a roll call.
Yes. Oswald? Here. Hutnick? Here. Koznansky? Here. Murdoch? Here. Stevens? Van Warmer? Here. Lee? Here. St. Laurent?
Here. All right, we will stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So your first agenda is the shorter of the two, so we are looking for a motion to approve this agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Who was the second? Wait, Kathy.
All right. All in favor of approving the agenda?
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is approved. So we will open this agenda item up for public forum. We're good? All right, so we'll move on to new business. And I'm going to turn this over to you. You have our biannual informational meeting material. I'll kind of like walk us through it.
Sure. So I put together a format that we can use for our biannual informational meeting, but also be used as a recruitment tool for businesses, information for the community, things like that. It's quite expensive to print, so I'll post it on our website and on our social. And I have a copy for the Board of Trustees. But it kind of just walks you through where we are today in our 5-year strategy. So the beginning of it is just our mission, our story, our strategy, our vision, kind of some information about what the TIF is and what our plan is, so you can actually scan it and go and read it, the full documents on our website. The next page is just some historic downtown Romeo information. It gives our DDA boundaries. It goes through kind of our history, tells a nice story about, you know, our past and who we are. And then we get into the budget for 2025, 2026. The majority of our revenue does come from TIPA. Our expenditures are listed here with some key items. Our biggest one being beautification, and CBD projects and events, things to improve downtown, and then other things to support our businesses. Our social media is a big line item, but we believe that it drives traffic to our businesses, it creates awareness and interest in our town, and ultimately attracts visitors. So in the next 5 years, we do want to grow our revenue base to 500,000. That's a goal, that's a lofty goal. Some of the ways that we can do that is creating an investment account for our interest income, which we have the information on, and that's probably coming sooner than later. Just moving that revenue over to an account that will yield a higher interest for us. And over time, hopefully that'll have a good impact and resources that we can invest back into the community. Selling downtown merch, purchasing property and capturing lease revenue, establishing an annual fundraiser, and then private funding and crowdfunding. So these are all things that we'll explore in the next 5 years. The next 2 pages really focus on our downtown through a business lens. What is the information that is going to attract a business to come to downtown? So we highlight some of the ways the DDA supports the businesses and helps them thrive. Everything from education and workshops to grant funding, sign and grant, improvements to the building, partnerships like the Small Business Association, and Velocity and MEDC. These are all ways that we help businesses get plugged in and utilize resources to help their business. And then we have a little community profile, basically who Romeo is from a consumer perspective. And then we highlight some in-demand businesses, things that we would love to see downtown and make room for. And these are the conversations when I'm out in different cities that I'm having with those types of businesses. Then we just tell a little bit of who Romeo is, where we're located in the grand scheme of Southeast Detroit, why it would be good to open a business in downtown Romeo, and who our typical customer clientele is. So it just kind of walks you through, a business owner through, who we are. The next couple of pages just focus on how the DBA is improving downtown. So this year so far, we've issued 2 sign grants. We've had 6 new businesses that are opening, and 3 small business grants have been funded through our partners. We also have worked on getting shovel ready. So this is the beginning of our 5-year strategy, and so in the beginning, it's all about getting ready for the things that we want to accomplish. So we have 2 major projects that are shovel ready. That's our wayfinding and attraction strategy, as well as our streetscape. So those will be shovel ready. We'll be looking for grants and funding opportunities over the next couple of years. We do have 1 minor project that's shovel ready, and we are developing 3 more minor projects. And once we have all of these in place, then we can start to map out how we're going to fund it, and we'll be ready to apply when the funds come up. Sometimes they pop up out of, state level partnerships, things like that. On the other side, we continue to focus on beautification. So our florals were installed for summer. I think they're beautiful, and we're just working on our new businesses now, those storefronts, making sure that they are ready to go and get up and running. And I love this quote from our MJC Marketplace owner. I truly love how quaint and historical Romeo is. The unique blend of excellent restaurants and the diverse retail establishments creates a perfect environment, which has been instrumental in making MJC Marketplace a thriving business for the past 8 years. And I truly appreciate you, Kathy, for all that you do to kind of lead the other businesses to, giving them the guidance of, hey, we've been successful here for 8 years, and this is what we do, and helping those newer businesses get off the ground. And then we get into our Romeo visitor attraction strategy. So we have a lot of events scheduled for this year. We've had a few so far. Everything from our anchor events like Peach Fest and Vintage Fest, all the way through our summer weekend events, our new Cruisin Main event that's going to start Wednesday, and then of course our fall and Christmas events. Our key pillars of our visitor attraction for our social campaign. So what we're trying to do is really tell our story, and provide authentic experiences. Show people what it's like to actually come and dine, come and shop, come and do the things that we have here. So we're going to be doing a lot of storytelling. We've just recently switched over to 2 new social media website videography companies, and so we're looking forward to really seeing measurable results, and they're going to be doing a lot more reporting than what we've had in the past. So I'm excited to see us actually move the needle and get those visitors coming. On the visitor attraction, we've started doing some of that measuring, and as you can see, in June we pivoted. We said, okay, we were going to do some things differently. We started doing our posts not just as ads. We wanted to really make them come alive, make them interesting, making them, sometimes quirky, sometimes funny, sometimes striking emotion is what we're trying to do. And along with that, we're also hosting micro events. So we had our sidewalk sale, and through that micro event, we were able to tap into an audience from the garage sale weekend, and combining that with some paid Facebook advertising, we gained 500 new followers on our Facebook account. So with a less than $100 investment, we were able to show significant impact. And so we look forward to keep continuing that strategy throughout the year with our events. And the last 2 pages are just going to highlight what we've done so far this year. From a promotional and marketing standpoint, administration, economic development, and public improvement, and also where we're going. What's on the agenda for the rest of the year. So I don't know if you guys want me to walk through all of it, but some of the highlights, you know, we're starting to build a very collaborative base of partners, media, people outside of our community that are invested in Romeo, who want to help us grow and continue to diversify and things like that. And so that's pretty much on the promotion and marketing part that we're really excited about. Administration is just all about, you know, establishing the procedures and the technology that we need to really improve our consistency and improve our deliverables. So a lot of just fundamental foundation stuff. Economic development has been, you know, really trying to partner with these other, like the MEDC, Velocity, things like that to bring funding and grant monies downtown to our businesses. And then public improvement, that's pretty much just keeping up with our beautification efforts, but also planning for the future. So getting those projects shovel ready, those major projects that we spent a good capital amount of money and time is really going to be helpful for us. And going forward, just, you know, continuing to do the same, hopefully finding a lot of grant money that we can start implementing the things that we're planning. Any questions?
Yeah, what was, so in the demographics here for the, like the sidewalk sale visitors, it was only just because this was the weekend that the sidewalk sale fell on for those, for each year? Is that the reason it was just that one weekend?
So we chose the weekend because the community-wide garage sale was going on.
Okay.
And so we wanted to tap into a crowd that was already coming to the area and shopping. So that's why we chose the dates.
That particular weekend? Okay, that's all I was curious on.
Yeah, and we did compare the actual dates from years past to make sure that it was the same, you know,
The same weekend.
event.
Okay.
And we had almost 1,000 more visitors through this time.
Perfect.
This is great, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, this is awesome. That's what I said, it's beautiful.
Oh, last question. The community profile on this one?
Yes.
Is that just the, like, within the DDA district or all
All of
of Romeo?
Romeo.
Okay. I thought we had a little bit of a bigger population, so.
Less than 4,000 people.
The actual
Dirty,
elite
dirty.
group.
So you're gonna put this online, Kate, you said?
Yes.
So people
Yeah.
can see it? Awesome.
I'll put it online, I'll put it on our website, and I have some copies, you know, like people show up. Typically, I will have people looking to move businesses to Romeo that come from my office. So we'll have that to give to them as a recurring piece.
Probably have it where you can email it as well, like a PDF you can email out if someone requests it.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Really nice job.
Thanks.
All right, so we'll go to board member comments. We'll start from here with you, Mark, anything on this subject.
Oh, I think beautiful. I mean, no, she did it all. Good job.
Yes, this is very impressive, but I didn't already have a business here. Honestly, and I like the fact that we're building those relationships. I think that's a big part of what I feel like we really need to do is, you know, they say it takes a village, well, for a village it takes more than that. So this is fantastic. Thank you.
No, I agree, this was a good idea, well thought through, and it encompasses everything, the statistic that you're gonna need, if you're really going to invest, and what am I doing here? Describing the people, the type of people that come through, like, is your business really gonna thrive here? I like the idea that people can see why we're making decisions that we're making. There's a strategic plan, this is what we're following, this is why we're making those financial decisions, and this is our goals and the direction that we're going, and I think you laid it out really beautifully. Can we send one to Dr. Bob?
That's it. That'd be that email PDF one. I agree as well. I think the other nice thing is sometimes we have short memories and we focus on the most immediate topic, and this is a really great way to remind us of all the things that we're doing, all the different things. It's not just the most recent conversation that we had that we all kind of get hyper fixated on, and it's literally laid out here. And it does bring all, well, for myself, but I think it does bring us back to why are we here? And instead of getting kind of off on tangents about one topic or the other, it brings us right back to what we're supposed to be focused on. So, great job.
I think it's going to be really helpful for people to be able to see, like, that there is more projects in the works than just something that's on the agenda for the month or whatever. Because a lot of times I think it's hard when a project takes a really long time to get people to understand that things are still in progress. And this, I think, helps outline our most, like, pressing goals so that it's like, okay, yeah, we're working on this, but these are still in the works. So I think it's really nice.
Eric?
Ditto to all of that. So, I mean, I think they covered it all and everything, and I think it'll be, it's very informative, and it's going to help me answer my husband's questions when he's asking me all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know, it's my second meeting. So,
I'll be the end of this.
Yeah, as I'm leaving, he's asking me questions. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But anyway, it's great. I love it.
Great job. All right, so
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second. It's Kathy.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, our informational meeting is complete. We'll go ahead and start with the roll call here.
Oswald?
Here.
Hudson?
Here.
Osinski?
Here.
Murdoch?
Here.
Stevens? Van Wormer?
Here.
Lee?
Here.
St. Friend?
Here. And we will stand again for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we'll move on to approval of the agenda. So we're looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. That's Marty.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is approved. And we will move on to the packet. You should have your minutes from the June 2nd meeting. So hopefully you've had a chance to look over these in your email. We're looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
Make motion to approve the minutes from June 2nd.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Kathy.
We finally have this down now. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, our minutes are approved. Next item is public forum. If there's anything anyone in the public would like to speak on that is not on the agenda.
Sorry, I was afraid I missed it. I didn't take care of my dog. I just wanted to say thank you very much for your generous donation for the Vintage Fest. It ended up being way more successful than we had feared when we had so much rain and thunder and lightning in the morning. But it was a success, and we're looking forward to moving ahead with it every year and bringing
well as the bills to be paid. So we're looking for a motion to approve the bill pay and our financial statement. Financial statement, is from July 1st, 2024 to June 20th, 2025. Total revenue earned in June, $16,995.62. This includes interest earned during that period of $606.27, and the Bruce Township tip of $16,389.35. Total bills presented for approval are in the amount of $34,487.70.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the monthly report and approve the payment of bills.
A motion, is there a second?
Second.
A second.
Okay, since it's spending money, we'll take a roll call.
Oswald,
Yes.
Hutnick,
Yes.
Poznansky,
Yes.
Murdock,
Yes.
Stevens, Van Wormer,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
St. Laurent.
Yes. All right, moving on to funding request. Looks like we have two funding requests. The first one is for requested by MJC Marketplace for Cruisin Main Classic Car Night, looking for $250 to cover a music vendor.
Is this just for like a single night? Will this cover multiple?
Yeah,
It would cover, not just one night, but was it six?
6 weeks.
Is it 6 nights?
Yeah.
Six Wednesdays?
So June 9th through July 13th, it's every Wednesday.
Yeah,
during
so
that
the
time
20, and including the 20th, so it'd be 7, so.
And this will be it?
Yeah.
That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the request and $250.
June 9th through what?
For
July
July.
9th.
July 9th?
July 9th.
Yeah,
July
July 9th through
Yeah.
July 13th.
Oh,
Say
it's
it's
wrong
wrong.
here, 13.
Okay.
I
So
filled these
it's
out.
completed now?
Okay, sorry.
It's the wrong dates.
Yes.
So it starts this
It
week.
starts this Wednesday, July 9th, and runs through August 20th.
Oh, July.
So it's 7 weeks, 7.
Okay, no, this said June, that's why I was confused.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay,
yeah. Oh, I got it.
August 20th, gotcha, okay, I
Okay.
see that, all right.
Perfect.
All right. I'll
I
second that.
don't know how I missed 6 weeks of events. That's what I was talking about. Where was I?
I apologize at the beginning, I just got back from 11:30, so.
I'll second it then.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And since we have a motion, anyone from the public that would like to speak on this topic before we vote? Any board member discussion? All right, take roll call.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What kind of music is it going to be?
It's Doug.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So it's guitar and singing, so it's just, okay, got it. Thank you.
Any other discussion from the board? All right, we'll take roll call then, since we're spending money.
Okay. Poznansky,
Yes.
Van Wormer,
Yes.
Oswald,
Yes.
Hutnick,
Yes.
Murdock,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
St. Laurent.
Yes.
We probably, right, in this first week, I'll set them up on my side. I'm trying to, I have somebody that also can get us a system too. That he's just gonna donate, but I haven't reached out to him since I've gotten back, so we'll just play it by ear and see who's where and what's the most populated area.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
And we have some outdoor music already in certain parts too.
Right, and for me, I do too, so I can move, you know what I mean, I can move him, so, yeah.
Great.
I think it'll be play it by ear and see how it goes, wherever is needed.
Okay, the next item is a sign grant application. I don't have a sign grant application.
The application is in my office.
Okay.
information provided here kind of gives you the specs and the cost. And the request was for $500.
And sorry about the old picture.
That's okay.
Pretty bad.
And now is $500 the maximum award?
Yes.
And we're good on the budget, we've got it in there, it's a gift.
Make a motion to approve the MJC side grant in the amount of $500.
Second.
And it has gone to the village for approval.
Not yet.
Okay.
I have that permit on my desk.
So we just issue it once you have the permit
Yep.
filled out? Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
perfect. Okay, any discussion from the public on this item, since there's a motion? All right, any board member discussion?
I'm good.
Take roll call?
Lee?
Yes.
Murdoch?
Yes. Sorry, yes.
Oswald?
Yes.
Hutnick?
Yes.
Krosnansky?
Yes.
Van Werner?
Yes.
Lee? Oh,
Yes, again.
and St. St. Louis?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to our new business. So the first item is promotional bank account. So Kay, I'll let you
Yes.
speak on this one.
Okay, so, with the sale of the merchandise for downtown, those are typically very small purchases, but it can be many, as well as when we're doing Facebook and social media advertising. You're gonna see a lot of line items that are $5, $10, $12. I think it makes a lot of sense to have a separate account for these items, just to keep our main account cleaner, and also to provide a level of security. We will be taking payments through Square. We will be putting, our Facebook advertising, using our credit card. It would just make more sense to me if we had that smaller account that we could run this stuff through.
I would agree with you. I have two things that just came up while I was thinking about it now is, you would then just provide a one-page statement with our normal financials then for that account?
Yeah.
And what are you starting that account with? I mean, do we have an idea of that budget, or is that coming out of a specific line item?
So the specific line item is for promotional, and so we're just gonna move those funds over.
Okay.
So it's already budgeted for.
And the only other thing I would think of is I think we, unless you've already done some research and have a decision or some thoughts behind it, I think it would be good to use PDCU, being that they're our partner.
Yeah, I've already spoken to them and, verified that they have a small business account that won't have any maintenance fees and also along with that, no interest, but, it'll be a good fit for what we need.
Yeah. Perfect location.
Do they have a minimum that you have to keep in there?
I was just gonna ask that.
It's like $50.
That's all.
Yeah,
Wow.
And if it goes below that 50,
$15 fee.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, how is that gonna work at the end of the year when we do the end of our fiscal year? Are we gonna have to move the money out of that account to account for it, or how are we gonna explain like even $50 sitting in the account over the year? Like,
I think they'll probably reconcile them both together in the same financial report. So I don't think we'll have to move money back and forth. We're just going to encompass them both.
As long as all the bank accounts at the end of the day balance, we can have multiple accounts.
yeah, that's not what I mean. I mean, like when we do our taxes, like we have to account for like the money that's in the account. Like, does it have to be lumped into our regular account when we do our taxes?
I don't think so, but I'm certainly not an accountant. So I would defer to our accountants,
Income
regardless where we put it.
the other revenue.
Okay, so we don't have to like,
I defer to the accountant.
I was gonna say, I'm certainly not an accountant, so I would think that they would tell us what
They're
they
going to
do
combine it all. And
yeah,
in one report, as long as it's all accounted for.
yeah, that's what I mean, is like, I don't want it to look like we're like stashing money or something like that from year to year.
No, absolutely, and I think because also in each month we'll have, just like we get our statement from our current account, we'll have just one more statement to look at, so.
Do you need a motion?
Please?
I would make a motion to give our executive director the authority to open a promotional bank account.
I second. Have you done? I'm sorry.
PDCU.
Oh, sorry.
Second by Marty. We're not spending money, but we're moving money, so let's just take a roll call to be.
Yep, Post Nancy.
Oh wait, before, I'm sorry, public comment on this item?
Yes.
Okay, Post Nancy.
Yes.
Hutnick.
Yes.
Oswald.
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Van Warmer.
Yeah.
Lee.
Yes.
St. Laurent.
Yes. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Multi-modal Streetscape conceptual planning services. In an effort to improve walkability and by architectural firms to develop conceptual plans and a budget that can be used for 2 potential grants the DDA has been exploring with the 4-County Community Foundation. The Giffords-Webster team has delivered 2 conceptual design plans and has scheduled a meeting to present on July 16th at 9 a.m. at the DDA office. Moving on to our art plan. We have been working with the Girl Scouts, and the Girl Scouts have joined us in a partnership for an art mural project located in Parker Alley. This project will consist of 3 aluminum panels. The Girl Scouts have decided to postpone the art installation until summer of 2025, and they had postponed it till summer of 2025, and we are putting this project on hold at this time. We did not get the grants that we had anticipated to help fund this. So it's still something that we're looking at working on with them, but we're putting it on hold.
How much money are we looking at that they needed to raise?
Well, it's around 5,000, and it really wasn't the funding because we do have other sources.
Okay.
There was a
And
timeliness.
ultimately, it was they already won an award this year, and so they want to use this project to hopefully win a better award next year. So they're just postponing it for that reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure there wasn't something else we could help with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, 26 now.
Wayfinding and attraction strategy, the Village of Romeo and the Romeo DDA, seeking to spur economic development and promote local businesses, improve navigation, and enhance its identity and overall visitor experience by developing and implementing a comprehensive attraction strategy. Crimson has delivered their final conceptual plans along with cost and implementation plans. The DDA and the Village are researching grant opportunities to put this in place. District 360, DDA and District 360 are working together on customizing the software and importing data. Project completion is 4 weeks. Is it everything you hoped it would be?
I'm so excited.
I'm like really excited
Yeah.
for this
Yes.
District 360 thing.
I can't wait until we have all the data imported and I can start sharing with you guys the insights and, you know, how we're using it and all of that good stuff. But I got a glimpse of the building data. Oh, it's so good.
And we got like the Cadillac company
Yes.
to work with, so
Yes.
that's great.
And they're really working with me to customize it.
Nice.
So that it not only fits today, but it fits what we want to do in the future, so.
I think that's super important, is that we talk about 5 years, but what are we gonna look like in 5 years? And we don't wanna be doing this again in 3.5 or 4 years and saying we outgrew what we
Exactly.
got, so.
Yep.
No, I think that's gonna be really cool.
Visionary Leaders Circle. I think Kathy, this is
Yep.
your baby?
Yep, this is my baby. So currently, we are obviously getting ready for this Wednesday for our first Cruisin Main. I did get verification from Jack Frost Museum that they will be bringing some of their cars. I didn't get the opportunity to check and see. I asked how many. I haven't gotten, I don't know at this point. We do have an entertainer. It's just kind of in the works. And I know that Kay has been reaching out to the businesses. We're hoping to get as many businesses as we can to participate. We're hoping that getting the businesses to participate will give them some ownership in this. And, you know, that's when things really start clicking, you know, when you get that.
In what way are you looking for participation?
Just
Staying open.
Just staying open, maybe till 9, putting the cones out so that they have their, the cars in front of their place of business. If they personally wanna maybe just, like, say for instance, just if they don't have something, like if they're not a restaurant, but let's say it is, an insurance company, if they wanna sit out there and pass out their promotional items or things like that. Just getting that involvement and having that out on the street is going to be huge, I think, in that. So right now, though, we are trying to get the businesses involved, trying to get the cars out there, obviously, but also, you know, like maybe some vendors, nothing that competes, obviously, with the businesses, but things that, you know, they might have somebody that does something that, again, they might not have something as a retail or a restaurant, but again, they may know somebody that might want to sit out there and, you know, sell, you know, maybe lemonade. Their kids want to have a lemonade stand or whatever, things like that. So just kind of like a family fun evening with that. That's really what we're focusing on right now. And then again, we have the Golden Girls Day Out coming up in September 20th. We're doing a day out versus the night, since we already have the girls' night out already planned for later. But getting some of those people that don't like going out at night. So we figure we'd try that strategy and hopefully, again, get a lot of business involvement in that. So getting them to dress up, you know, going from place to place, you know, having the different drinks. Maybe somebody has cheesecake, you know, the whole Golden Girls theme. And I think that'll be a fun day, hopefully. So we're working on that. Also, too, and then just reaching out further, and Andrea, I'd like to maybe talk to you a little bit more, like with the Christmas celebration. I think it's always good if we can piggyback off of something that's already going on and very successful. So to me, the best thing to do for Christmas would be with the tour, the home tour, you know, that's so successful and that brings so many people in town. Why can't we take that weekend and like build upon that? You know, like Thursday night we have the parade and Saturday we have, so let's do something Friday night, or maybe we have, you know, and I kind of like to have you share that and maybe help us with that.
Yeah, and if you have a meeting coming up that you want me to come, you can make it like, you know, an agenda item.
Yes.
Because I know we've, on the home tour group, we've talked about that too.
Yes.
You know, if we could get a business to be open and, you know, roasting chestnuts outside, or just being open, because there's a lot of times with the tour that, you know, you're kind of clipping along from house to house, and now this house has a long line, and they will go grab a bite to eat.
Exactly.
So if we give them something to do, and then they pick up again, and they're crossing Main Street, so I'm gonna hit Main Street before I go to the houses over there, so.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
Don't we have a handful of solo serves?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
That would be.
Yes, absolutely. That kind of thing.
Some warming stations,
Yeah.
there's things,
Absolutely. And this we might be too late, but they have the live reindeer. And they bring Mr. and Mrs. Claus there, and they have the live reindeer. What a great thing to do. I mean, I'd be more than willing to do it in my parking lot. And then and next door, we have that, you know, Douglas House. We have that beautiful area back there. Maybe we have something going on back there. So there's a lot of things I think we can do to build upon that weekend and really make it a nice family, not only for the residents, but
do almost like a winter market,
yes,
like what they have over in Europe or something.
Yeah, in Europe they have that they call it the Christmas market. We could do something
Christmas
like
market.
that.
Yeah.
We sell 700 to 800 tickets, and quite a few of them, I would say the majority of them are from actually outside of Romeo.
Yes.
All of us in Romeo have been in all the houses. So, we've gotten, or you're being put to work,
Yes.
So that's a whole group of people that are coming in, and we had a lot of repeat people, but being that I'm constantly working at these, there's always someone saying, what do I do? We're kind of sick of standing around, sick of walking, so we want to take a little break, and where can I go to eat, and what can I do? And I think it's, kind of brings that whole Dickens community vibe.
Exactly. And I'd really like to see that happen, this year
Yeah,
maybe. And then
absolutely.
each year and grow upon it. And, it's amazing. You start out with something, a few things, and the next thing you know, it's, the hallmark moment, where all,
Yep.
everybody comes to town and that. And so I really like to work with you on that if.
Yeah, I would love
you're-
to come to one of the meetings. We are starting to get houses. We already have a couple houses that have committed, so.
Oh, great.
But yeah, just let me know when. I'll
Okay.
come there,
Yep.
for sure.
So, yeah, but and I know we'll have to do something probably again with the fall. We haven't really kind of clinched
We're
that yet.
focused on summer yet.
Yeah, so we're still on summer, but I kind of
Yes.
wanted to get this one on board. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome, all righty. Moving on to Ignite Community Engagement.
I think that's what, oh no, that's different, sorry.
So whose baby is this?
That's my baby.
All right.
I'm still working out some details. We've been talking, coming up with some different ideas. But I would like to see more community involvement, more volunteer base, more involvement with the residents as the board, and just improving the attendance at the meeting, getting more personal with them, talking more with the residents. So, I'm just still taking notes, working on it. Hopefully I'll have it wrapped up within 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Who would people contact, or how would they contact? They want to volunteer, they want to find out more about it?
Well, Kay and I are working on that.
Okay.
I know I've had 2 or 3 already volunteer to be a part of that outreach, to reach out to the residents, personally invite them to the meetings, and just offer some, incentives to come and hear what we were about.
Can we put a post, like a call for volunteer post on the social media platforms? I still think it would be nice if there was some kind of little application, so that we're not getting people who are enthusiastic about helping and doing something and then putting them in a job that is not suited for them, because then they'll never come back. So if maybe there was a little link to an application where they can talk about what makes them awesome, we can help find them a place that they'll be happy helping us in.
And I plan on having a meeting once a month.
Yeah.
And that can all be discussed at the meeting, where you feel comfortable at, what are your plans, what would you like to see us do?
And I think that that goes into what we did with our 5-year plan of matching up volunteers to what we need, and I think it's a great idea. I also think that we need to make sure that because we don't want to get a volunteer base, we don't have anything for them to do. So having those jobs of this is what we're looking for. So when someone volunteers, it's not a case of, now I'm just sitting on ice waiting for something to happen.
Right.
But we're very quickly able to connect people with different jobs to keep them engaged with us.
And then one of the jobs would be to reach out to the community and tell them what we have going on, so we have more of an outreach in the community, and it's just not coming from us, it's coming from other residents.
Yeah.
That's gonna tell their neighbor, and that friend's gonna tell, just gonna keep going.
And this would be a huge talking piece for that. These
Absolutely.
pick a page, you could go off of it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next up is officer nominations and approvals for the 2025-2026 year. So we've had some discussion last month regarding how we were doing it. We did decide last month, due to time of being able to change and verify all the details, that we're going to continue with our normal way of doing it this year. If there's someone that is interested in changing it, we've got a year to do the work and find out what all that involves to change how we go forward. One of the things that we had, I had asked last meeting, was at the board member comments, if anyone was interested in a position, to please let us know, so that we kind of knew going into nominations. Nobody said anything at that point, so we are open for nominations. I would like to start with nominating for the chair position. I think we should do each one separately, so that it's each its own position.
Can you list the positions?
Yep, so we have our chair, our vice chair, our secretary, and our treasurer.
So we need 4.
We need 4.
And I cannot be one.
No, nor
don't be
can I.
So you all need to think.
So start thinking, everybody.
She said it with excitement.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So I would like to nominate Danielle Lee for chair. I think that she's done a great job as our vice chair. She's got the knowledge and to kind of easily move into that role. And like I said, she's done a great job as vice chair. So I think it's a natural progression for her to step into the chair role, if you are so willing to accept it.
Yes, I would, yes, I would be willing to accept it.
Okay, so we have a nomination and acceptance. Is there a second?
I would support.
Okay.
Do you have any other nominations? I would like to nominate Kathy Oswald as chair.
Well, we have a nomination, and this is where we got into last
okay,
time.
I thought Megan said, is there another nomination?
Well, we have a motion and a second, so I don't know that we can do a second motion.
I don't know if it's a nomination or.
I don't know. Because how do we now, that's what we talked about last month, is how do we do that?
Right, that's why I was confused last month at the meeting, how this whole thing kind of works.
Okay, well, then maybe discussion. That'd be.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second, so now it's up for discussion and then vote. All right, any discussion?
I'm sorry, say that,
Is there any discussion on the motion for Danielle Lee to be chair? We have a motion and a second, so now it opens it up for discussion.
I would like to discuss it, yes.
I think Danielle has done an excellent job, as you, Andrea, as well, with everything that has happened. I would like to see Danielle go further than just this. And I know I may be putting this on you, but I would like to see you go further and run for a trustee. And I feel like you are so capable. You have so many talents that are even beyond this. And I feel like I would like to see you do that. I feel like you would do us very well in the village with running for that, for a trustee, or you may not agree with me, but, and I feel like we're definitely going in a good direction with the DDA. We have some good, strong people here, and so be it as it may, I would like to see you do more than just this. I think you're so capable. You're very talented, you're very smart, and I feel we've got this. I think you should go further. That's my opinion.
I appreciate that.
And I feel like your time should be spent doing that. So that's my thoughts and feelings. And
Are you interested in being the chair?
I would do the chair. I feel like I've got, thank you, Karen. You trust me for that, but I feel I kind of got it now. I've been here for a year and a half. I've served on boards, and as you know, you and I have served together before. I feel like I would do it, along to like you all still be here supporting me doing that. I feel honored that I've even been, but I would support you going further than just this DDA.
I appreciate that. Sorry. I guess from my perspective, I'm also happy to be the vice chair. So if we have someone that is eager and excited and looking forward to wanting to be the chair, I would be happy to step back and not accept the nomination, and second a nomination for Kathy to be the chair.
So I can reword my nomination, and I can nominate Kathy as chair and Danielle as vice chair.
I would still support that.
Okay, so we have a second, motion and a second.
Do you have to vote on them separately?
Nope, it's one motion that was, we were going to, but now we're making one motion for both. All right, any discussion on the nomination for Kathy for chair and Danielle Lee for vice chair?
Since I brought it up, I guess, a little sooner than it was expected or whatever, but I just feel that Kathy is a very strong businesswoman, and with me being new to all of this, and I know how Kathy works, I know the talent that she has and the knowledge that she has, and she's been phenomenal to work with, and that was why I nominated Kathy.
Yeah. Oh, and I agree. I don't
Right.
think we need any convincing.
I just,
So, yeah.
it's just the discussion.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just
absolutely.
the discussion. Until I know everybody else better, it would be hard for me. I know Danielle.
Yeah.
So yes, Danielle's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was gonna be nominated, so,
Yeah. So we have a motion, we have a nomination, a motion, and a second.
But,
Any other discussion?
Yeah, that's one vote, or is it two separate votes?
Well,
I don't understand
right now, the
why.
nomination is for both, because they both accepted, but you can vote yes or no, and we can break up the nomination, we can do whatever we
Right.
want. But we can only vote on one nomination and one motion at a time.
Right, so that would be for Kathy for chair.
My motion is Kathy for chair and Danielle for vice chair. When we go to vote, either vote yes or no if you like or don't like that option.
Who else wants to be the vice chair?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
So we'll have to bust up the.
So we'll make it separate. I'm gonna nominate Kathy for, let me rescind my nomination. I'm gonna nominate Kathy for chair.
And I would support that.
Okay, thank you. All right, any more discussion on Kathy as chair? So let's go to vote.
Okay. St. Laurent,
Yes.
Lee,
Yeah.
does Oswald get a vote?
Yep.
Oswald,
yes.
Hutnick,
Yes.
Sosnansky,
Yes.
Murdoch,
Yes.
Van Wormer.
Yes.
Okay, so Kathy, you are officially our new chair as of next month's meeting. Congratulations. So now we will open up for vice chair.
We know we already have a nomination for
Yep,
Danielle.
so I have a nomination for Danielle. Is there a second?
I would support that.
Okay. Any discussion?
I'm pretty happy with what you've done so far, like.
Thanks.
Oh, I am too, but I agree with Kathy as far as moving up. Totally agree with her.
Is that something that you would consider even? Like,
That's something I would be discussing right now.
Well, and just for the sake of discussion, and it's certainly not my place to say it on anything on behalf, but we don't have an open council election happening right now. This is a one-year term.
Right.
That takes us through July of next year. So, I mean, it's not like it's an either or.
right,
We're at the table here, voting on our DDA board, and our DDA officers as the positions that we are in.
And Marty, you said you would be interested.
Yes,
Why, what is your interest?
as co-chair.
Yeah, just what about it?
Well,
Makes
I
you
would
wanna
like,
step up?
yeah, I would like to step up, be co-chair, work beside Kathy, work beside everybody else, get my feet wet a little bit and put myself out there a little more. Yeah, I think I have the connections to reach out to the community. Not that Danielle doesn't. She's done a great job. No doubt there.
No, I don't think, speaking for yourself means any negativity
Yeah.
in any other way.
And Danielle, you have done a great job. And also, too, you guys have been put through the ringer over the last several years. And I don't know how you held this out, to be honest, how you held it all together without having a DDA director and all of that. Also, too, like with Marty, maybe a break might be good too for Danielle with being front and center all the time, but, yeah.
Okay, any other discussion?
I know Marty has a lot of connections in the community. I know she's a strong leader. She's a strong businesswoman once again. So I would like to see Marty get her feet wet, as she said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's vote on the motion of Danielle Lee for vice chair. We'll go to vote.
St. Laurent,
Yes.
Poznansky,
Yes.
Oswald,
No.
Hutnick,
No.
Stephen, Van Wormer,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Murdoch.
No. I was going to say I get a vote, right?
Yes, okay.
Can you give me the numbers?
Okay, so that is 4 nays, 1 yes. No, 3 yeses, sorry.
4 yeses,
1, 2, 3.
3 nays.
I've got yeses, St. Laurent, Poznansky, Lee, who am I missing?
Van
Van
Oh,
Wormer.
Van Wormer. So we have a tie.
No,
No, it's
No.
4-3.
7 people, 4 to 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, 4 to 3.
All right, so we have Kathy as chair, Danielle as vice chair. Next up is secretary.
Would you be interested in
I
secretary?
was just about to ask that. Would
Actually,
you-
I'm going to nominate Karen.
All right, so we have a nomination for Karen. Do you accept it?
I do.
Okay.
I would
We have a
support
second. Megan? Trying to keep all my notes straight here. So we have I'm sorry, Marty? You made the nomination?
Yes.
Okay, second by Megan. Any discussion? All right, we'll go to vote.
Hutnick,
Yes.
Poznansky,
Yes.
Oswald,
Yes.
Murdoch,
Yes.
Van Wormer,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
St. Laurent.
Yes. Which brings us to treasurer. Then there were 2. Who's interested in treasurer?
Can I
I
nominate?
Melissa.
Missy?
Wait a minute. Well, before I accept it, do you want to?
No, I nominated you.
Okay.
So we have a nomination for Missy for treasurer. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kathy. Any discussion?
No, you've been doing a great job. Just keep doing it.
All right, we'll go to vote.
Hutnick,
Yes.
Oswald,
Yes.
Poznansky,
Yes.
Murdoch,
Yes.
Van Wormer,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
St. Laurent.
Yes. Okay, so our 2025, 2026 officers, we have Kathy Oswald as chair, Danielle Lee as vice chair, Karen Murdoch as secretary, and Missy Van Wormer as treasurer. You will officially take over for the August meeting. I know Danielle knows everything that I do, but if you have any questions and you want to get together, grab a cup of coffee, I'm happy
I would
to
love to do that.
go over anything
Yes,
else.
Absolutely.
And just to kind of bring you up to speed on anything you may need to know. Which brings us to our executive director's report.
Okay. So this past month, we communicated with our business owners on several different platforms and occasions with our monthly newsletter, our business visits, and while trying to promote our Cruisin Main event. So that we send out email invites, flyers, calls, text campaigns, just trying to keep the communication open. We had a couple of events this month. Outside of our board meetings, we did meet as the Visionary Leaders Circle. And also, I attended the Night Under the Stars for the Northern Macomb Chamber, which was lovely. Lots of nice faces. I was kind of surprised at how quickly I've come to know a lot of people in such a short time, so it was fun. We had no new grants given this month. We continue to work on our social media and website project, just getting those vendors onboarded, and it has happened seamlessly, so I'm very happy with that. We didn't miss a beat. The new team is very capable, and I'm excited about that. Our wayfinding attraction, we went through updates for all of these. I am working already on the fall decor, just coordinating, getting the mums planted, but also getting together an RFP for next year. It's time, so we'll be looking at proposals for summer floral, winter floral, and fall floral. Administration, just continuing to work with the District 360 team, getting that customized and off the ground. Worked on the impact report that you guys saw this earlier. The micro events, just establishing an ROI report to show that the money we're spending is having an impact, and so I think that's going to be great going forward. And then working on an inventory and assets list. One of the things that kind of stunned me a little bit was the fact that we have no inventory of the assets we have as far as like in our office. Someone mentioned earlier, oh, I think we have 3 solo stoves. We do, but we also have a lot of other things, including some now iPads that could be reused in a different capacity. So just creating an inventory list so that everybody has awareness of what we have in our possession and what we can offer for usage, different events, stuff. So working on that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, going forward, I have a whole list of things that we're continuing to work on. One of the biggest things is a business attraction folder. So this impact report is just part of that. But we want to have applications. We want to have education on process. You know, if somebody is interested, what does that mean? Who do they reach out to? What's the timeline and the cost associated? Just building out a complete folder that we can use to recruit the businesses. And then also updating our visitor guide. We have one, which is great, but it's very outdated. So we need to update that with our new restaurants and our new retailers and get that done. So those are the kind of hot items.
Is there, I know at one point, I can't remember if it's still active, there was like a spot for available properties. Is there a way of like, in the future, adding a QR or something that would go to a page for properties? So when we're shopping businesses to come, they can go and look and see what is available and find something that might suit their needs.
Yeah, and we currently have it on our website, and unfortunately, the one property on there is I can't get an update on. I'm assuming it's outdated, but I'm working on it. Again, also the challenge is a lot of our properties will come open and we don't know about it, and they're leased before we even know about it.
Yeah.
But it is a great idea to have, and certainly, you know, I've started advertising space that we do have on social just to try to get.
It's getting huge feedback too.
Yeah, to try to get ahead of it. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean I have the cooperation of the building owner.
Right.
So I have interested parties now and no communication with the building owner. So it's a difficult situation, but.
Is there something maybe we could do for incentive to work with building owners to try and find businesses that would be like compliant, like right away? Like, so that they're not having as much difficulty jumping through hoops to be compliant, you know, like offices on second floors and.
My best suggestion was, as soon as they become available, the DDA rents it.
Okay.
Because then we could hold, advertise, do what you're saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And make sure, like, kind of, it's a.
I think that's actually
layer.
like a great idea if we can get.
It's like that incubator you've talked about.
Yeah.
I did propose this for that 109, and he was not interested.
Yeah, they're not all gonna be.
But I jumped right on it. I was like, well, you know, I would love that.
Yeah.
You
to be able to
proposed it as far as the DDA renting it, and they weren't interested in renting to us?
So is that something like we're against sublet, like subletting, right?
I mean, how are we any different than someone else coming to rent?
For this particular building owner, I think it's a control issue, and he doesn't want us involved. I'm bringing him interested people, and I'm not even able to schedule a showing. He's just not responsive. But then I'll hear from somebody who comes into my office, oh yeah, I talked to Dimitri,
Yeah.
So,
Well, and
that's the only.
Unfortunately, that they can do what they want with their building, but at the same time, it would be nice if, the feedback that I've heard from people who are trying to come in is that they pick the wrong space for their business, and then they can't get open, because that's not the right space for them. So it would be nice if we could help the landlords find people who would be perfect for that space.
If they're not receptive to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wonder if it's just a way of explaining that, you could rent to somebody and then they could have to break their lease because they're not compliant with the ordinances or whatever, and then you gotta find somebody else, or,
Yeah, and maybe it's just as simple as, having something like this, like starting to be more legitimized, for lack of a better word, where we can go to those building owners and say, hey, you know what, we see you're open, here's all the things we can do for you, right? We're gonna give you a stream of potential renters that already meet all your needs. You don't have to worry about anything. It's between you and them, or I like Megan's
Well,
idea.
not even necessarily subleasing, but just holding on to it.
Yeah.
And releasing it until we can find somebody
Yeah.
and then go, okay, here you go.
Yeah, maybe we
Basically-
lease it for 3 months while we find the perfect person for
Right,
them.
basically subsidizing the property. And
Yeah,
I
so they
think
don't lose out.
what's going to be the biggest needle mover is building relationships with these building owners. That's gonna take some time, right? I obviously, once I have my data, I'll know who and how to reach out.
Yeah.
But building that trust is gonna go a long way. And I really think a year from now, we'll be doing things completely different. From the get-go. I envision somebody reaching out to a building owner and him saying, oh, here's who you need to talk to first, and it's the DDA.
Yeah.
And we start the process and we go through a very seamless transaction.
I think, kind of going off of Marty's program, being focused on community, maybe we need to have a subcommittee of this board that's focused on those relationships with the building owners. And maybe, if we have some that maybe are not open to us right now, but maybe even as building owners change hands. So now we got fresh blood that's owning this building. We go in with, congratulations on owning a business or owning a building in Romeo. Here's all the things that you get with buying that building in Romeo. You're gonna get our DDA helping you find the right people or the right renters, and you're gonna get sign grants that you can offer, and, and starting to build that relationship. Maybe we need to have some sort of subcommittee that's focused on them, because I think the residents are important, the merchants are certainly important, but the people owning these buildings are certainly important, and they are the ones that truly are paying the tax. So getting their buy-in is gonna be huge.
Yeah, especially because, they're already paying the tax. We can provide services with no additional cost.
Yeah, you're already you're paying for this, really.
You're already paying for it, utilizing it. I mean, if I owned a building, it would make sense to me.
So as a building owner, I'm looking at it, my perspective, as, do I want someone, I don't want to call it interfering, right? Where I'm the building owner and I'm going to have final say as who goes in my building.
Yeah,
because,
you would still have final say.
Right, because,
As long
and
as it
then,
meets
right,
the
and I wouldn't
requirements.
want to have, say, the DDA is leasing and then they lease to somebody else. I wouldn't want that.
No,
I
but
think
if the
what the issue
situation-
that comes up is that if you do lease your first floor to a tax service, that tax service won't be able to
They will
open.
never be able to open.
Because they can't
Right.
get an occupancy. So I think that's what Kay is talking about, is getting the right leasers.
Yeah.
Right,
in
and that's
front
what
of
I'm
them.
saying, so that's where I could see some of the pushback with owners going, okay, how much control is all of a sudden,
Yeah, I'm
the
not handing
DDA
my
is gonna
building.
wanna control who I'm bringing in here,
But
that
if we
kind of thing,
came
so.
to you as a building owner and said, for sake of numbers, your rent's $200 a month for your space, right? So we come and say, you know what, first of all, you can't get the tax service, you can't have the lawyer, you can't have the okay, all the things you can't do, right?
Right.
Here's the approved ones.
Here's 3 businesses.
And
And
that
that does
does
make it a lot easier.
And
Yeah.
we are willing to cover 90 days of rent, so you don't rush off and rent to the insurance guy. We're gonna give you, what's that, $600 while we find the right person for you. We're not signing a lease with them, we're not,
Yeah. Right.
but we're just giving you a stream of people that are gonna fit these needs. So you don't sign a lease.
Right.
Then you show up at Megan's office and she's saying, oh, no, you can't do
Right.
that.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm not. My first thought, though, was, wait a minute, I don't know how much control I want to give
Yeah.
away.
Right.
I mean, I'm responsible ultimately for that building.
Yeah.
What's in that building and what's happening with that building.
And
So-
I agree, and a lot of our building owners, unfortunately, are not here. You're obviously extremely involved, right? You know what's happening. But sometimes we have building owners that aren't either in the state.
Right.
They don't know, and then they have sometimes a realtor who is saying, oh, great, I got a renter for you. This insurance
Right.
company's gonna come in. They've signed the lease, now the lease has to be broken, this isn't gonna happen.
Right.
And now there's hard feelings that Romeo won't let me open what I wanna open, or won't let me rent my
Right.
building. So more of a service of, here's
Right.
what we can bring to the table for you.
Yeah, and even if they wanted to use like a property management group still, like if we had, okay, we know that we've got these people that are interested, they're already qualified, they can
Been
take a
vetted.
first floor, here's a list with 3 people that are ready to go. Money in hand, we know we can get them approved, they're compliant, pick who you want.
Right.
But these guys, you can get a renter in right now if you go with one of these 3 or 4
And
people.
so how would the DDA be finding
Well,
these
it would be more
renters?
like a recruiter.
I already have a
We're
list.
recruiting.
They
Oh,
call,
okay.
they call.
Yeah,
People
like a
want
recruiter.
to
We're more
come
like-
into the
yeah.
town.
Okay.
It's just,
And that makes sense.
yeah,
Like I said,
it's just
this
getting
is-
the building
Yeah.
owners on
Now-
board. with-
It was just my
Yeah.
initial
And
first
as a building
reaction.
owner, if you were to say, no thanks, I know what the bylaw is and I'll meet it myself, then that's
Right.
fine too.
Yeah.
Just-
Right.
We're trying to find a way to help some of the building owners who are struggling with the bylaw of what can go where, right? So we'll take that off your plate.
I'm struggling with it, just trying to figure out what Romeo can and cannot
Yeah.
do with some of their rentals.
Yeah,
It
now
makes-
somebody-
It makes no sense to me sometimes.
Yeah, if somebody says, hey, I don't need your help and I'm gonna meet the requirements, I'm gonna make it,
Right.
fabulous, right? Go
Yeah,
for it.
anyone can look up the ordinances
Yeah.
online and look at the zoning and go, okay, this is what's allowed in the
Yeah.
in the district, and
Yeah, and when you
That's
come
it.
to me and say, I want to open an insurance company as a building owner, do those building owners all know to say, oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to meet the ordinance? Do they know that or not? Like, we're just trying to
Right.
help give that education.
I think just providing value.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep providing the value
Yeah. I mean, you don't
until
want
we
it,
have
that's
that
fine.
solid relationship, and then we'll be doing things
Yeah.
in a better way.
Yeah, like I said, if someone says,
Yeah.
thanks, but no
And
thanks.
that's okay,
then
that
fine.
answered some of my questions, that popped in my head immediately.
No, fair, yeah, absolutely.
And we already have Marty here with her committee that she's putting together, and with the fact that she knows so many people, this might be a good, to throw this way, so that,
Yeah.
because she does know so many people, and then kind of, we can work with this and maybe even grow this committee to do those things and to be a part of that, and help vetting for the owners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be a great
Well,
volunteer
because
job.
like at the end of the day, we want the businesses to be successful. And we want the people to have a reason to visit us. So it's like, in everybody's best interests to, kind of work together
And you don't want to see a building owner struggle because they
No.
didn't know
Or
that
a
this
place
ordinance
sit
was out there.
empty
Yeah,
or,
and it's like,
right.
I've signed 3 leases and they keep falling through because the building, the business can't get approved, so anything that we can do. And again, like I said, I think the building owners are sometimes an unforgotten part, but they're the ones that are paying the taxes, so we really need to think about what are we able to do for them as well.
Of course.
So, all right, did we go off a tangent, or were you at the
A
end of your?
good one, a good one. Okay, so moving along, the last thing is just our social media and website report from Verona.
So is this her last? Yes. Report? So in the future with the new businesses that we've recruited to do this jobs, can we have more than this?
Oh, it's going to be a lot more. We need to see actual, like, you know, percent improvement. How many more clicks? How many more followers? How many more visits to the website? We need numbers. This graph doesn't really excite me, especially when it's on a downward trend. So unfortunately, there's not a lot to share, but.
Well, we decided what we wanted in these reports when we contracted with them. So there was opportunity to get more information, and I think we streamlined it a little bit too much. But at the time, it was all data collection we didn't even have before. So this is still better than what we had last year, because that was nothing. But I think there was a more comprehensive package that we could have subscribed to and chose not to.
Yeah.
And I think we're ready for that now.
Yeah,
I think
it
we're
makes
on
sense
the next
to have
step
it
in the
now.
process.
Yeah,
So.
it wouldn't have done us any good. We didn't have anything to compare it to.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree.
That's all I've got.
All righty. So we will move on to board member comments. We'll start down here with Marty.
No, congratulations to all the board members. You're in your position. I think we're going to continue to do great things and maybe even do more better things, you know. That's it, really.
Thank you. I hope to do the best job I can, and I look forward to working with everybody as chairman, and also Danielle and I have worked together before, so I feel like that will be a good relationship. We've done it before, and I truly look forward to another year. I think we've made some great strides, and I'm very happy and proud of that. And I want to thank Danielle and Andrea for everything that you've done, not just the past year, but the last several years.
Thank you.
With that, so thank you.
Similar congratulations and congratulations with being done. If you look back over the last year or so, we've come a long way and we've done a lot of things. And it's all good things to be proud of, and we've learned and we've pivoted. And congratulations to all the new people. And thank you to everybody that had a hand in the Vintage Fest, from the Rotary, Sharon, Kathy, Marty, whoever else I'm forgetting. It was a great day. It was beautiful.
Yes, I also am very excited to continue down our path with our strategic plan. I think it's very exciting that we have a focus and a plan to move forward. We don't have a huge budget, so we have to be very strategic with how we spend it. And I know that Kathy is very creative, so she will definitely find some extra creative things for us to do to continue to push that forward. And just a reminder, I think Downtown Pretzel Company is opening Thursday. So get down there for some pretzels. I did hear Vintage Fest was great. I had to work, very sad, but we had a wedding at the farm. So. But I heard it was great, so congratulations to everybody for putting that on.
Same, Vintage Fest was a big success. I was a little nervous in the morning when that rain was pouring, but it cleared up beautifully. It was really nice. I came into town today and to see the number of people riding bikes and walking around. And I've just noticed it the last couple of weeks, just a lot of foot and wheel traffic downtown, people riding bikes, people walking, walking dogs. So that was really nice to see. Congratulations to the new, I won't say new board members, new executive committee. Kathy, please reach out. We'll schedule a time before the next meeting. Happy to hand over anything I can to help you. And look forward to serving with you guys for the next couple of years.
Congratulations to the new, what was the term you used?
The executive committee.
Executive committee, 'cause yeah, it's not, like, I don't want to say board either, but, yeah, I'm really looking forward to moving
forward with some of our projects into the summer in general. And I am off on Wednesday, so I will be checking out the Cruisin event.
Yay.
Cool. All right, Karen?
And I'm looking forward to continuing this, working on everything and the new committee. I think I think everyone's going to do really well together. I think it's going to be great. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I have one more thing to say, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sharon and Betty, for coming to
Yes.
the meeting tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Make motion to adjourn?
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.